All right, we're going to wrap up here. I've got my sidekicks coming up with me, just a little bit of a change of pace. Come on out, Daniel and Stan. I had the opportunity to listen to most of that panel in the back there, and it was fascinating. I'm actually going to, it's all recorded, so I think I'm going to package that up into a really nice, well-rounded analyst perspective on the topic and where it's going. You guys should come on out. I think I called them once. I mean, they can hear me back there, unless they have a microphone problem. There they are, okay. Come on out. So we're just gonna stand. You can sit if you want, but over there. Yeah, so just wrapping up. We're wrapping a few minutes up, a few minutes early, and I'm gonna go through a couple of housekeeping items. But, you know, Daniel was prime on the program for the LSO Summit and the LSO topic throughout. Stan, you know, that's the main conference, and of course bringing LSO into it. So I just thought maybe a little tag team here to get your thoughts on, you know, your takeaways on both the summit yesterday, Monday, and the overall conference.
Yeah, so just in general, I'm really impressed by the fact that there's so much recognition of LSO now. You know, people, it just rolls off people's tongues. They're very comfortable about talking about LSO APIs. Also, the whole topic of automation and APIs. I mean, people that considered APIs just some sort of thing that needed to be dealt with by IT, that's changed completely now. You're hearing business people seeing APIs as a business imperative, and that's really gratifying, because that just means that that's where the importance is understood to be, and the really important change that's taken place and was articulated in the LS Automation Summit. I think another thing is that there are a lot of stakeholders here. It's not just about connectivity, it's about a lot of other things, and cybersecurity and edge compute, and of course AI and many other things. So that's also a major takeaway from the LS Automation Summit and in general. But the third thing I just want to say, I think there was a very good vibe. I just get the sense that there's a new energy. Perhaps, you know, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But
more coffee. We served more coffee this time around.
That's true. There's an excitement that, you know, we've been working on networking and APIs and so on for the last 20 years and so on. And I suddenly feel that there's this sort of excitement that something big is happening, something along the lines of what was in the 1990s. And people want to be a part of that, and this is the beginning. And so I was just very encouraged by the vibe.
The API topic's been around 40 years. You know, maybe it's like an old suit. You know, you leave it in the closet long enough, and then it comes back into style. Fashion. Yeah. Well, you know, the legs are wider again, or something like that, right? Well, Stan.
Yeah. So I think, Daniel, you said it all really well. I think this is the first conference I've been to in a long time where I didn't feel like I had to grab a cup of coffee, and I know sometimes it's a little bit difficult when it's dark in the room, but no, there's a lot of energy. I was really I just want to give a big hand to the analysts in the work that they've done, you know, with the conference. A lot
of value add there.
I mean, I just think they just fantastic. And that, you know, the panel earlier this morning and the closeout panel. You know, we're really having a lot of great insight into different angles, right? So, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, well, what are the key takeaways? And then they're coming up with, you know, another dozen on top of that. For me, I mean, I completely agree with Daniel. I think the cybersecurity threat is a really key one that people really need to focus on very heavily, and the industry really needs to take that message to heart, that the threats are growing very, very very rapidly. And Bob Patterson from the GSA kind of drove home the point. It's like, if it's not secure, you know, it's going to be worthless, right? So that's a big concern there. But I think we're doing a great job with the SASE certification. Really excited about the progress there. The other thing I would note is the talk about NAS, right? So if you go back to the time when we were putting together last year's conference, there were relatively few service providers that were even talking about or marketing NAS, right? And now we had 20 companies submit for the awards last night and that were NAS specific related, which is a big shift, I think, and you saw that reflected in the conversations here. So I'm really excited about the energy around NAS overall.
Yeah, I'll build on that. I mean, I think, I laid out a couple of objectives for the event, yesterday morning when I kicked off, and I think we've seen a progression of the topic. You heard it with the analysts and throughout, so it's clearly moving in the right direction. I had a lot of one-to-one conversations, to your point, with operators that weren't here, that now have a NAS strategy or have made a decision that now it's going to be central. Their product teams are moving in that direction. I have a number of operators that are saying, hey, I'm here to absorb because they sent me here to learn what's going on because we've got to be dealing with this over the next year or so, that kind of thing, in addition to the progress from those that were already in the game. So that's been kind of fun. So I think those are the key couple things for us. Of course, you guys are the ones that, we're all biased because we run this thing, but we'll look forward to hearing from you in the survey. So on that note, there's actually real work, committee work going on this week by the die-hard guys. We have about a day and a half starting tomorrow. If you want to hang around and get involved with some spec writing or build some APIs, this is the place to go. But you can register if you do have some time to stick. Actually, we're going to be doing a little plenary session tomorrow morning, kind of recapping on all of what has been discussed here and with our board and whatnot. So that's tomorrow. We are planning on being back here next year. We're not fully locked in with the hotel and so on. They don't have the same dates available. Dates are really challenging in the event business. If you wanted to move to the spring and every month has got its strengths and weaknesses. So we've been in November many times, not with this event, but its predecessor. So please save the date, and we're going to be getting communications out. If you weren't a sponsor, and obviously we'd love you to think about that. The one thing, so there's the post-event survey. I think we're going to be sending it, Lori, today? Today, and then we just email. Please, we really looked at the results last year to help us shape things. So we got a lot of good granular information from that, including the suggestions. So we'll send it today, and then there'll be a reminder on that. We've got the, that was the end of it. So one thing that's not here is right after this event at 4 o'clock, we moved it up a little bit. We have the SASE certification briefing. So if your company is interested in SASE certification, there's the information session. It's just down there. We had the LSO API one yesterday. It was really well attended. So if you can hang in there, go ahead there. Right after here, we've got a kind of an evolution of the ice cream break into a cocktail reception. So it's sort of it's a blended affair. What's that? Extremely serious topic. Serious topic. Yeah, for some people here, if we don't have ice cream, it doesn't matter how good your conference is. The quality of the ice cream is more important. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging in. It's getting a little late. We appreciate you participating this week, and look forward to your feedback. Look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you. Thank you.